I'm Kyle Weber. I am Blake's brother. I would say that I may not be able to get through this speech, but I didn't actually write anything down. So I think we should be okay. I really don't remember any part of my life without Blake. So I'm going to go back to when my mom was pregnant with Blake. Hi, Mom. I just remember right around that time was the first time I started having memories. And so looking back, I remember a time when it was just really cold outside and all I wanted to do was do something except for be in the house, and Mom was pregnant. And there was a lot of, hustle and bustle over it. And one day I remember the day that they brought Blake home from the hospital. And grandparents were over, and Mom, Dad coming through the door, and Casey and I were scurrying around trying to figure out what was going on. And then they put Blake in the crib, and I got up on something to look down into the crib, and I just remember thinking, wow, finally Mom's gonna take us to the zoo. She promised that she would take us to the zoo once the baby was born. There he is. We're going to the zoo. So, that was my first memory of Blake. It was my ticket to go see the giraffes. From there, just Blake was such a cute kid. I mean, he had the head the size of a watermelon. But he was really cute. He had all these cute smiles, and I just remember looking back through old pictures, seeing some of my favorite pictures are pictures of Blake, because he always had this smirky smile that only he had. He had these little Ewok ears. And it was just, I don't know, he was a heart melter from the beginning. But we moved, and even in that time, to be honest, I just, as Blake was growing up, and as, he was, turning into, a childhood friend, as a boy, and we would start playing sports together, and he would start digging into things, and I realized then that Blake and I were a little different. And the reason I knew is because some of the things that Dad would say about Blake, and I would think that about myself, and I'd be like, I would never do that. Dad used to always call Blake his little engineer, because he would take stuff apart and put it back together again. And I think it still holds true today with Blake. He always is kind of dissecting things, trying to figure out what works the best, and then he puts it together again, and it just works. Through high school, Blake was the kind of guy that he never had to study for anything, and he was in honors classes, and he just never did homework. I don't know how he passed, but he flew through high school like a breeze. And just everything that he's done, he's just been so smart with and so efficient with, and he's been so disciplined, and it's always been impressive to me. But there have been times when Blake doesn't appear so smart. And one of those times I almost died. Blake and I were in high school, about high school. You were probably still in high school. And we were remodeling my folks' salon. And I was up on a ladder, and it was around the 4th of July. By the way, this is one of my favorite stories to tell about Blake. And it was around the 4th of July, and we hear a commercial. And this commercial is a very patriotic commercial. And all of a sudden, Blake looks at me, and he's like, Kyle, I wonder who our 5th father is. It's like, 5th father? I only know of one, Scott Weber. And he's like, yeah, no, the 5th father, our 4 fathers? Who are our 4 fathers? We have to have a 5th one. And this is one of the smartest guys I know. And I realized for a second in time that I am smarter. I laughed And anyway, I love to tell that story because it was last week. And but really, because those moments are so out of character for Blake, because he just has everything, just magically planned out some way, and it just falls into place. And just he trusts God, and God blesses his life, and it's neat. One of the things that I've always held near and dear to my heart is that we are the Weber brothers. We are the two that, we're adventurous. We do funny things. We've got each other's back. We're brothers. Similar to what Casey just said about Cammie. That's the thing that she felt like she was missing that whole time. But we had it. And I absolutely love that. Looking back, taking all the pictures that we've taken together. And I wish I could just put a slideshow up right here. But I don't want to mess up that photo. It's beautiful. But, being part of that camaraderie, that brotherhood, has meant so much to me through the years. Growing up playing sports together and, always having a buddy to do something with, and, getting into our adult lives and doing ministry together and, planning out the future, trying to write books together, one thing after another, we've been the Weber brothers. And I love that. I love that so much. I will always hold that near and dear to my heart. And for a minute, I thought I was going to lose that because I wasn't sure if you were going to take Cammie's last name. But then I realized that we were safe. But I think it's really awesome to be the Weber brothers, to be the sons of Scott Weber, to be the grandsons of Harry Weber, and to be the great-grandsons of our fifth and forefathers. I do want to say one thing about Cammie. First of all, you look beautiful, and I'm glad to have you as a sister. The other thing I want to say is I actually knew Cammie before Cammie met Blake. And one thing that I had discovered about Cammie was that she kept a blog. And in this blog, she would make entries. And okay, if half of you in this room are thinking, what in the world is a blog? It's like an online journal. Okay, it's like a diary. Just to bring everyone up to speed. A public diary, yeah. So I saw this, and I saw these entries that she made, and I don't remember what the blog was called, but every entry that she made was "Dear Future Husband." And she would write the things out of what she did that day, or what was going on in her life, and just the things that she anticipated having in a husband. And looking back and knowing that now, it's amazing to me that she had such foresight, because all those things that she wanted and desired and was talking about with her future husband, who she had no idea who he was. And he ended up being my brother. And to me, that is a really special thing. Anyway, I love you guys. You amaze me. I'm so happy that you're part of the family, Cammie. And I'm happy that we're still going to be Weber brothers. And I wish you the absolute best. I know that you guys will treat each other with the utmost of love and respect. And I cannot wait for you guys to have two little boys, so the legends of the Weber brothers can continue on. Please raise your glass and take a drink. Cammie, Ever Blake.